Recent rumors say that DJI in 2022 is going to bring out a mini FPV, a Mini 3, and an Inspire 3. Where is this all going to end? Well, stick around, I'll give you my thoughts on it. Now, while none of this is confirmed, recent rumors say that DJI is bringing out the Mini 3, the Mini FPV, the Inspire 3, and some other related gimbal stuff. So, I'm a techie kind of guy. I like new stuff. I like new stuff when it comes out. But this has me a little concerned. We're in danger of becoming like the cell phone industry, where every year you have to upgrade your cell phone just to get the latest and greatest in camera technology, fold-out screens, and all that sort of stuff, whereas the basic phone remains the same. But before I give you my thoughts on these drones, let me tell you a little story. And if you'll stick around to the end, I'll tell you how this relates to the drone industry and how it can help change the drone industry. I grew up in Smyrna, Georgia, a little suburb outside of Atlanta, and my dad worked for the aircraft manufacturer Lockheed, so I was around airplanes all the time. I built models of them, hung them from the ceiling in my bedroom. My dad and I would build gliders and gas-powered airplanes, and I was just fascinated with airplanes. And our house was right under the approach path to Dobbins Air Force Base. Now, Dobbins Air Force Base was the military base attached to Lockheed, so we had planes coming over all day long. And the funny stories about that were, we'd have friends come over and sit in the house, and the windows would rattle when the planes came over, and people would say, well, how do you stand that noise? And we'd look at each other and say, what noise? We were so used to it. In fact, I got so good that I could identify an airplane just by the engine sound as it came over the house. And since my dad worked for Lockheed, we always went to the air shows, out there to see the latest and greatest, watch the Blue Angels perform, parachuters, new planes, and so on. And I remember one particular year, and it had to be around, I'm guessing 1956 when we went out there. And we saw this, at the time, massive, gigantic cargo plane called the C-130 Hercules. It had been designed and initially built in '51, with construction moved over to the Marietta plant. So Dad was heavily involved in the construction of these airplanes, and I learned a lot about them. So we walked through the cargo hold, and it was massive. You could put equipment in there, you could put troops in there, you could put supplies in there, configure it pretty much any way you wanted to. And it had that novel drop-down rear gate where the top part folded up and the bottom part folded down to allow easy access for allow easy access for equipment. Now let's fast forward to Vietnam. Now, not only in Vietnam was it used for cargo, for equipment, for troops, but it was also upgraded to act as a gunship. They equipped it with a 40mm and 105mm cannon and a Gatling gun, and it was an awesome beast in the air. Now, over the years, it's been used for many different things. Aerial hospitals. Take Antarctic expeditions. Look at this particular plane here, outfitted with skis to land in the Antarctic. And it's used in over 70 countries around the world. A cruise missile launcher, a drone catcher and launcher. You may have seen that recently in the news. And it was equipped with what I remember from the time being called JATO bottles, jet assist takeoff. You can see from this picture here the jets coming out the side of it for short runways. In fact, they even experimented with landing and taking off on an aircraft carrier and did it successfully. It was never put into production for doing that, but they did find out that it could be used for that. And one of the most recent iterations is something called the Ghost Rider. This was developed as an onset from the Vietnam War, but this was the gunship. And these days it's equipped with a lot of new stuff. It's got a precision strike package with 30mm and 105mm cannons. Guided munitions with small bombs and directional artillery. Hellfire and Griffin missiles. And most recently, an airborne high-energy laser capability. So it's incredible what they do with this particular ship. I could go on, but I think you get the point here. Here's an aircraft that was designed and built initially 70 years ago that's still relevant today. And why is that important? Well, I think we need to get to that point in our drone industry. So why can't we have a drone that does this? I always tell my students when they're shopping for a drone, the drone is not the important part. The drone is really just a platform. It's the information you get from it that's important. So choose your drone based on your needs of data. So let's just assume for a minute that the Inspire 3 is coming out later in 2022 or who knows when. What are they going to do with it? Well, they're going to have to upgrade the camera, right? What would they do there? Well, if you think about it, they recently came out with the Cinema 4D camera, and that's a full frame format. So I expect maybe they go to a full frame format on that camera too. What else? Maybe extended flight time. What else? Well, maybe improvement on active track or autonomous flight modes and things like that. And I almost guarantee that none of that's going to be backward compatible to the Inspire 2. And that's a problem, because then they're forcing us to rebuy everything. And if you look at the Mavic 3 Cine package at $5,000, we could be looking at 10 grand or so on the Inspire 3 if it comes out. But what if there was a company out there that designed a modular drone that could be upgraded over time? Well, there is. If you've been following my channel, you'll know back in April of 2021, I did a series of videos on the 5 U.S. manufacturers that were approved to supply drones to the U.S. government. And one of those companies was called Teal, with their Golden Eagle. And their president made a big point of saying how modularized this drone was, that it could be repaired or upgraded over time without special tools. And I was very impressed by that. Now, if you look at it, that's not the solution to our problem, that particular drone, because it's over 14 grand. The configuration's really not what we need, but it's a proof of concept. It means that somebody out there could do that. I don't know about you, but I know that I'd be willing to pay a premium for a drone like this, something I could buy, keep for years, upgrade over time as my requirements changed. But of course, this all may be just a tactic by DJI. With Sony's AirPeak coming out and being available for pre-order, it's a full format camera. And if DJI is looking at it and said, well, that's competing with what we want to do, they may throw that out there that, hey, the Inspire 3 may be coming. So people hold off on buying that Sony. But I did have a subscriber just tell me this morning that they've pre-ordered one of the Sony AirPeak S1s. Now, I've asked him what he's going to be using it for because I am really curious about that. So apparently there is a market for that Sony drone also. So what are your comments? Where do you stand on this continual upgrade of drones? Do you think if we had a manufacturer that would do that modularized system I'm talking about, would that be something you want? It's certainly something I want. Leave me your comments on that. Well, I hope you're still enjoying these videos. I still enjoy making them. If you are, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if you feel like sharing it with your friends, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you so much for watching.